everybody, welcome back boys and girls. It's your main math man, Mr. Shank, coming to you live from Mayfield, and in this video we're going to be evaluating the following algebraic expression. So you want to make sure that you can see what that means for our problem. So we're going to first substitute in our values for our variables, and so it's going to look something like this. It's going to have 3 times 2, and it has a negative 4 squared, and it has minus 3 times 3, and it has plus 5 times the absolute value. So make sure you're seeing those lines there. That means absolute value. And so always want to make sure that you can use parentheses for those, and so you can have and follow gemdos after that. And so our first step that we're going to do is inside of those absolute value. Let me actually use blue for that. A bit clearer. There it is. So we're going to do inside the absolute value, and now again, working left to right and using order operations, we can do exponents. And so we're going to do exponents. So we do negative 4 squared, which is going to be 16. Again, notice how everything else stays the exact same. Only the highlighted part is changing. And so now we can, let's see, exponents are all good, no grouping symbols. Since we have a little bit of multiplication here, you always want to work the furthest left, just like a normal sentence. And so we can do 2 times 3, which is 6. And we can do 6 times 16, which is 96. And now we can do 3 times 3, which is going to be 9. Then we can do 5 times 4. Again, notice how everything else is staying the same. I'm just bringing down the rest of the expression. That way I can evaluate it carefully. So now that I'm on addition subtraction, same idea. Make sure you're working left to right, just like a normal sentence. And so we're going to do 96 minus 9. That's going to be 87. And then our last step, 87 plus 20. Is going to be 107. And so now, let's see, we can check using our Desmos Calculator, and you can see there for yourself we have, again, you type in 2a times b squared minus 3a plus 5 times the absolute value of b. Again, then you have to hit enter to start that new line, define your variables, and then it will give you the evaluated expression at the top. If you're not checking using your Desmos, it's going to be messed up. Again, this is significantly simpler when you use that tool for yourself. Alright, moving on to the second one. It says this, now it says simplify. So we're not going to get an exact value, but we can make it look a lot simpler than what we started with. And so anytime you see those parentheses, make sure you think multiplication. And so we're actually going to start inside of the parentheses, our grouping symbols. We're going to go inside of those grouping symbols of that square root, and so we're going to do 31 plus 5, that's going to be 36. And I can do everything else stay the same. Then we do square root of 36 is going to be equal to 6. Still using those grouping symbols, we can do 14 times 8, which equals 6. Again, notice how I'm using parentheses to show multiplication, and so now I can still multiply it, and so I'm going to do 6 times 3 is 18, and so now I have, very simply, 18x plus 16x. Again, just add those coefficients together, and so I have 18 plus 6 is going to be that 24x. And make sure you can see those for yourself, and super slam that subscribe button.